I don't know if you could see back there, but Sammy, the cottontail, was back there. Miss Squirrel and her children were running around like crazy, and now all the blue jays have come in. But anyway, it seems like they're having a grand Sunday. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Let me know what you guys have cooked up for today, what your plans are for today, what meditations you have for today, and maybe some things you have going on this week. But before we dive into all of that, if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me, go ahead and check out the information box down below. You could check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com, maybe the Witchy Shop, Desert Cauldron, which is the sale that's in the shop there. We have 20% off all of our witchy items or handmade items, items that have been made from our friends at the local reservations and local artisans. Definitely check it out. That sale ends today. And also, I have a sale in Kittens, Weights, and Tarot as well on my website and my Etsy shop. So if you're looking to save a little green, maybe purchasing some green like peridot or something, then definitely go check it out. But yeah, all right, you guys. Let's see. Susie's here. She says, much love. I'll be listening today while I clean. Someone big hello to all. Ah, nice. All right. Well, and Ruchi is here. Namaskar. Hello, hello. How are you? All right. Well, I am doing okay. My my female cycles seem to have shown early, a week and a half early. So my functions are all kinds of thrown off. I have a little bit of a headache and it's like kind of warm. I think today is like the hottest day it's going to be in all of summer, which up here is 96 degrees. For the people in the Phoenix Valley, I hear it's probably going to be closer to like 120 or above. So I'm happy to be in the mountains. like, so yeah, so it's just, whew, I don't know, just like the mixture of the heat and a little bit of like crampy and like all this stuff is just like but anyway, so I've made myself a tea to kind of just calm my systems, and we can dive into some intuition, have a lot of fun today. Ooh, and I brought out not only my herbs, but I brought out my bones. And you might be wondering, why did you bring your bones? Well, besides the bones that I wear, like, you know, under my skin. But, but the bones. Okay, so I put out a poll yesterday, I believe, over on my YouTube channel page. So if you want to be a part of that poll, then definitely anytime before the Sunday live chat, check out my channel page, and there is a public poll that I put out, obviously for subscribers, for the public, but also I put it out for YouTube members and I put it out for patrons. So if you're a YouTube member or a patron, technically you will get extra votes, and if there's something you absolutely truly want to see, especially when it's like really close in votes, oftentimes it's Patreon and YouTube members that push the votes more into their favor. So but anyway, majority ruled, I believe, in all three platforms. People wanted to do some readings with bones, and I have my little bag of bones here. This is the bones that I actually do readings with. But I also wanted to talk about some of the bones that I read with that I find out in nature, out here in the forest. So I want to talk about them. And I figured since I'm having a tea, I always like to talk about herbs. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Yeah. And before we get into that too deeply, I do want to say, speaking of YouTube members, hello to all my YouTube members. I love you guys. So Lisa, Kayla, Nancy, and we have a new member, Mark. Hello, hello, and welcome. And all of my patrons, love you guys too. So Myrna and Karen and Palu, Lisa, Heather, Lily, Dana, Jamie, Kayla, Syrian, Brandy, Jason, Brian. Love you guys. And yes, of course, my YouTube subscribers. Love you guys. All the ones that come into my live chat, my mighty, mighty moderators who you see the wrench of destiny next to their name. But yes, everybody who comes into the chat, who hangs out with us, shares your beautiful downloads, my lurkers, my listeners. I love all you guys. Everybody who comes to watch our channeling videos on Mondays, which we have a nice little channeling for you guys tomorrow. We are going to be diving into memory, like what where does memory actually come from? Is it really just from our brain? But where do memories stem from? Why is there an emphasis on memory here in the 3D? So we got some really interesting answers from the I never seen these beings before, but they were like these gold beings. So yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and check out what we learned about memory. And we did talk about um, people who suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's, like what where is all this coming from? If memory is so important, why do we have illnesses like this? And so we looked into all of it. So but if you guys have more questions on the topic, definitely let's start a discussion in the comments underneath the video. So all righty, let's see who all is here. Looks like the chat has been going off. Susie is sending hugs and love. She says it's 105 today. Holy cow. It's really hot in California, I hear these days. Um, yeah, and here I am complaining because it's supposed to be like a high of 96. I'm like, I'm gonna be indoors today. It's a little too hot. Angela is here. Hello. She says, blessings, Tara and Susie, and the whole chat today. Wishing you all angel wing hugs, good vibes, and joy today. Amen. I love you all. And Heather, aka Superstar Priestess, is lurking and working. Love it. She says, hello, darlings. I hope you're all well. Well, I'm doing fantabulous, especially when I get to hang out with all of you special homies. You always brighten my Sunday. Angela says, blessing, Susie. How's your arm doing? That's right. How are you healing up there, my sister? Jane the Tarot Seeker says, hello, it's my first time in your live. I've been watching your channelings. Well, welcome, welcome. We're happy to have you. Hopefully we have, a bit of fun today. So usually we do a weekly reading. We encourage everybody to share your messages, your downloads. What do your cards say? What do your channeled messages say? But also we're going to be diving into a little bit of bone reading. And then afterwards, we have super chats and super stickers for people who have personal questions that they want answered. And then we go into a bit of a guided meditation at the very end. Angela says, blessing, Silver Star. I'm great. May all be well with you. Hugs and blessings. How do you do? Jane saying hello to everyone. Everyone saying hello, skis. Jolene is here. She says, hello. Hey, hey, how are you? Peg, what is up? Everybody just welcoming everybody in. Lily is here. Hi. Angela says, blessings, shields, and everyone. Hugs. Thanks for joining the fun. Remember, no trolling. Be kind today, and that you are loved every single day. Amen. Jolene's like, barely made it to the live. Oh, that's right. You're in a completely different time zone, right? I forget, what country are you in? I know it's many hours ahead, I do believe. If I remember correctly. And Lisa's here, our girl Lisa, our other mighty, mighty moderator in the house. Our buddy Patrick. Hey, hey. Peg says, you were blessed with a vibrant double rainbow yesterday. Still riding the high from that. Heck yeah. Jane says, some days I honestly feel like I'm beginning to have dementia. I feel like that every once in a while. There was one time, because I constantly forget how old I am, but maybe that's a good thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting, that answer that we got from these beings. And remember, these beings, they all have their own perspectives. So no one being, I would say, has like the right answer, because, well, we're all in our different perspectives. But it was interesting anyway. Angela says, ooh, wow, rainbow blessings. I found a rainbow doll at the thrift store. Hey, speaking of the thrift store, I went there yesterday to go pick up some witchy items, and I spent a whopping $12.50, but I got me a shit ton of candles. A lot of candles, a lot of different colors. Some of them are Advent candles, Christmas candles. I got incenses, cone incense, stick incense, some of those like incense sachets to put around the house to make your house smell nice. I got those Scentsy wax melts. So yeah, I would say it was a few pounds worth and it was like $12.50. Hello, Goodwill. So that's where I get my candles. Thrift stores. Jolene said, this is great. So many nice people. Angela said, no trouble at all, Susie. Lit some of my World Tarot incense because I ran out of tea lights to send good vibes this weekend. Oh, that's right. I also got tea lights as well. Angela says, hugs for everyone who wants a hug in the chat today. May hugs bring joyful energy, healing, and good vibes to you today. And Julian says, if you pick something up from the thrift store, do you get a feeling about the object in some way? I do actually, because it's like, I mean, it's not only the person that, donated it, but it's everybody in that works there at the Goodwill that has touched it or whatever thrift store I'm at. Plus all the people kind of walking around in there, it just kind of like soaks up vibes. And so, I do just a little bit of, I would say on the drive home, instead of doing like a whole to do, what I found just kind of working with energy is just I intend that the item I have, any and all energy that isn't for my best and highest good, remain at the location that it came from. So whatever they want to do with that energy, they could do with it. But I'm like, basically, leave it all behind. Or as my college track coach used to say, leave your backpack off the track. So yeah, leave your drama somewhere else. So I'm like, whatever's coming home with me, just leave all your energy back where I picked you up from, because we're starting new, we're doing something new together. And so it's just a little energetic acknowledgement that only the energy for the best and highest good is riding home with me. And just says, oh yes, Jillian, it's caused me to take items and set things down. Oh my goodness. All righty. Well, okay. So before we dive into the reading, let's talk a little bit about herbs. What the herb, man? Well, I moved my bones off to the side because, that's what happens. Hey, John, what's up? Our buddy is here. Okay, so the tea that I have today, this is a guy here, filled to the brim with tea, actually. Might be still a little too hot to drink. This one is more, this intention for this tea was to help, I guess more like the temperance card, balance and align my divine feminine and masculine energy at the moment, but also to physically align my physical masculine and my physical feminine energy, my estrogen and my testosterone, and progesterone, and, all the other hormones that we have inside of us. Because I mentioned at the very beginning, I guess not, well, okay, here you go, whole internet. I'm on my moon cycle. I'm riding the crimson wave, surfs up, So, but anyway, to calm that, since that's just started yesterday and it's like way early, which is kind of unusual. I decided to bust out my red clover. Hey, KDS worker, how are you? How are you holding up? I know that you have gone through some difficulties lately, so I've been thinking about you, sending you good juju. And just says, no, we don't want the tea on the ground. I know, right? I also have some Damiana. I have some Egyptian blue lotus. And I have some horsetail. And these four herbs to me are like my four sisters. And they help me when I need a little bit of liquid relief. And I just need to calm my nervous system, endocrine system, and my reproductive system. Just calm everything down. Just take away the headaches. Just chillax. Just get back into that intuition, So yes, that is what's going on. And John's like, having a body is weird. Dude, tell me about it. Sometimes I'm just like, really with this vessel? Like, really? What are you doing? Kadia's worker says she's doing better. Very good, very good. I'm happy to hear it. Angela said, KDS blessings. May all be well with you. Hugs, good vibes. Angel hugs to you. Blessings and extra hugs. Susie is also sending Karen lots of love. Jane's like, I agree, John. Yes, her this vessel. I mean, Julian says sometimes for sure having a body, yeah, but it could also be quite fun. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's always multiple sides to the coin, you know. Kitty says, thank you all. Zoro Kitty no longer suffers, and that is beautiful. So, and hey, you know what? I have found that, especially with our furry, feathery, scaly loved ones that cross over the rainbow bridge, oftentimes when we're doing our live chats and things like this, it seems like they come in and they just, the messages are there. Sometimes, they're kind of seen in the other animals, in the forest behind me. So I have no doubt that Zorro is going to be in here with some messages, showing up in some way, just to say hello, to let you know he's a-okay. And just says, do we really need these meat mix? Sometimes I wonder. Well, I mean, they're fun skis, I would say. It's like, when you get a fun car to drive. I mean, you don't wanna drive all the time, sometimes you gotta get out and astral travel, but, I would say for the incarnation that I'm in, it can be fun. It's unusual sometimes, but it's fun. Uh, and then eventually, hey, I'll just go back to being my multidimensional self. So, in the interim, let's have fun. Um, Angela says, blessings to Zoro Kitty. May he rest at the end of the rainbow today, and may he have all the treats and all the fun till he and KDS are reunited someday. Amen. And Jolene says, sometimes these bodies do feel kind of weirdly designed. I know. I'm like, who patented this? Oh yeah. Well, we kind of know that. But anyway, John says, it wouldn't be the same dance without it. I know, right? Okay, so let's have a little bit of water here, and then I want to talk about these herbs. Okay, all right. So I recently got another herb book. I have quite a few herbal medicine books and books just on herbs and books on Native American herbal medicine, and I just find that each of these books has so much to offer. Some have herbs that other books don't mention, and so it's like a lot of cross referencing. But I found this book, and this book has a lot of the herbs that I do use, not all of them, but I think it's going to be another great cross reference book. And this one is called The Encyclopedia of Herbal Medicine. And it says 560 herbs and remedies for common ailments. And this is by Andrew Chevalier, FNIMH. And he actually signed his book. I got this from Amazon, but it's like a third party. So it came directly from him. He signed it. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. Add your cat. Hello. Says, I have to say, I just started your channeling video from a year ago on what the Queen said about Kate Williams's wife. Ah. And Jolene said, the book looks interesting. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, there's a nice intro that talks about just how herbs, like herbal healing, kind of came into be, and how it's having like a resurgence after it, being something that our ancestors just, easily used before, I would say, quote unquote, modern medicine came in, how they do quality control with herbs these days, and how you have to be careful kind of where you're buying your herbs, because sometimes there are companies who are a little bit shady. They try to cut corners, and what they say is in the herb bag is not always what's in there. And sometimes what's in there is hella old. And so, therefore, it's not as effective, but they can sell it for a cheaper price. So definitely make sure that you understand, know your herbs, and you are getting it from a company that you feel intuitively like these are my people. We are simpatico, and I want to do some business with them. It also goes on into the different medicines, different parts of the world, so North American, South American, they talk about European and African, Australian, just all these different parts, the Asian continent. And let's see, I'm trying to get to, all right, here we go. So here's one of the pages. There's a page each dedicated to each of these herbs. They are in full color. What I love is that it shows you what the herb looks like dried and also what it looks like when it's alive, which is pretty cool. Sometimes books just show you the dried form, and when you're out and about, you have no idea what it looks like when it's still in the ground and growing. Sometimes, it's vice versa, and so then when you get like the dried herb, you're like, is this the same thing? Is this the right thing? So yeah, it gives you quite a bit of information. It gives you the historical background, how people use it today in modern medicine, also the different ways that you could utilize it. Like let's say for meadowsweet here, it tells you the best way to use it as a tincture, as a tablet, as an infusion, a decoction, a powder, and then it also gives little cautions. So just in case you're on any other medications, they want to make sure that they don't interact with each other, or they have the warnings if you're pregnant or nursing, things like that. So I want to look up. The 4 herbs that I have here. So maybe you guys can hear a little bit about them. The Egyptian blue lotus, the damiana, the red clover, and the horsetail. So let me just go to the index back here. Is probably easier. Oh, they also have an index of herbs by ailment, which is helpful. Okay, so let's look up horsetail. And maybe I do drink a little bit of horsetail just because I really like horses, but has nothing to do with horses anyway. Let's see. Horsetail, where are you? There we go. 13, 16, 140. Mm-hmm. Nope, that's not it. So maybe it was 13. It says it's on several different pages. What was that other page? Oh, 210. Okay, let's see, page 210. Ah, here we go, horsetail. There you go. And that's kind of what it looks like before it's turned into a dried herb, which looks just like this. Okay, so it says, it is native to Europe, North Africa, Northern Asia, and the Americas. Horsetail is a common plant preferring damp soil. The sterile stems are harvested in summer and carefully dried, all discolored parts being discarded. Um, let's see. It says it contains large amounts of salicylic acid and silicates, about 15%. It has flavonoids, phenolic acids, alkaloids, including nicotine and sterols. Much of the therapeutic effects of this herb is due to its high silica content, a large proportion of which is soluble and can be absorbed. Silica supports the regeneration of connective tissue, which is probably why a lot of people use it for hair, skin, nails, for reproductive lady parts. Traditional use indicates horsetail is an excellent clotting agent. It staunches wounds, stops nosebleeds, and reduces the coughing up of blood. In addition, horsetail has an astringent effect on the genitourinary system, proving especially valuable where there is bleeding within the urinary tract and in case of cystitis, urethritis, and prostate disease. Horsetail helps speed the repair of damaged connective tissue, improving its strength and elasticity. The herb is also prescribed to treat problems related to rheumatic and arthritic problems, for chest ailments such as emphysema, for chronic swelling of the legs, and for various other conditions. A decoction of the herb's aerial parts added to a bath benefits slow healing sprains and fractures, as well as certain irritable skin conditions such as eczema. It says there's a caution though, it does break down vitamin B1, which is thiamine, and should generally be taken long term only in tandem with a vitamin B supplement. So if you're going to be drinking this stuff every day or however you're going to be uh, utilizing it, just make sure that you have that vitamin B supplement. So yeah, I mean, I like this book so far from what I've read. Let's see, let's go back here. Um, Lily says she's adding this to her list. Angela says, "Oh, yay! Feel Better books, Mama Gaia, and all her herbs are really amazing." Jillian says, "Feels like many people have lost this type of info and teachings."